in definition, but I'm going to stick with who I stuck with in the railway, Super Smink, Danny Morton, Chris Parnham. Hopefully this week is their week.
Thanks, Tessa. Super Smink, the local for Tessa from the yard, as we now head to Nick Aristovic for the Tap Touch Market Report.
This is it, the Group 1, the Tap Touch Northerly Stakes for $1.5 million. The Interstate Raiders are in town to spoil the party, but it's two fillies here from WA who lead betting. In Super Smink, who's been crunched in from $7.50 into $4.40 on race day, and then Storyville with Pike and Grant and Lana Williams, who have a great record at the moment. They're the two punters are keen on. In terms of the Interstate Raiders, have got attrition down to the third line of betting at $5. Looks a cracking race. If you're interested in your Cornellas, trifectas and first fours, we've actually got a fantastic first four special here today. $350,000 jackpot available. If you are going to have a bet in this race, please gamble responsibly. For free and confidential advice, call the number on the screen or visit gamblershelpline.org.au.
Thanks, Nick. Now let's head to Riley Morgan, who's catching up with Will Bourne, representing a light infantry man.
Thanks, Lockie. Catching up with Will Bourne. Will, pair of runners here in the Group 1 Northerly Stakes. Light infantry man. It didn't go to plan for him in the Railway Stakes, and he hasn't been looked after with the barrier draw here. Can he make amends for that run here?
Yeah, well, his asset isn't a turn of foot, so when he got caught and dragged back last start, it wasn't ideal. From the barrier today, he can sort of, he can get over his neck, roll forward and just find a position. So it is a little bit advantageous, even though it's a sticky barrier on paper.
What about Sox Nation? Can she bounce out of that plain run last start? She brought some really good form to the railway there. 1,800 metres. Is that going to suit her a bit better today?
18 will definitely be better. I thought she was playing last start because she got there easy enough, and I thought she'd give me a bit of a kick, but on the track and at home, and Remy over here has got him really well, so there isn't a reason why she shouldn't run well.
Thanks for your time. Best of luck with your pair.
Thanks. Cheers.
Thanks, Riley. And Will, on the other side of the road. Back here live at Ascot. Scotty, how do you order the four in the Group 1 Tap Touch Northerly Stakes?
16, 2, 14 and 12. I'm going with the filly with the 50 kilos in Storyville. Three back the fence is Willie Pike's bread and butter, and if she can burst through late with the lightweight, hopefully she can go well for us. From 2, Attrition, love his race form. 14, Super Smink, the very popular local. And 12, Zip Away is my blowout chance in the Northerly Stakes with the shades going back on. 16, 2, 14 and 12.
16, Storyville on top for Scotty. She's on the third line of betting at $6, but Super Smink will run your favourite at $4.60 as we now hand you upstairs to Darren McCauley for the 2024 Tap Touch Northerly Stakes.
Follow Attrition up into the gates. Attrition now ready. Super Smink, Casino 17. Let's Gallivant, Light Infantryman. The final group of them. Parnham bringing along Super Smink. In she goes. They close the gates behind her. And now we wait on the last four, including Karamundi. Perth Cup winner, Casino 17. Light Infantryman, as well as Let's Gallivant. Up goes Let's Gallivant. Heads along into the stalls with Light Infantryman. And so the last two will be Casino 17 and Karamundi. We're nearly right. Group 1 Tab Touch Northerly Stakes. Start point here just in front of the Damien Oliver stand. Ollie with his great association with Northerly. And the line completed now by Karamundi. The lights on, they're set. They're ready to run, racing in the Northerly. And the first of them to get going was the filly, Storyville, from the inside. She actually won the break over Bustler. Zip Away going forward. Not a lot of speed early, so Maricino puts the foot on the accelerator. Comes across with Let's Gallivant. Light Infantryman also charging forward. The old boy takes up the running, however. Maricino from Light Infantryman over into the back straight. Bustler third, fourth, Let's Gallivant. A length and a half, Zip Away. Storyville better than midfield, followed by Numerian. After a length came Attrition, and also Casino Democracy Manifest. Around them but trapped out wide, Admiration Express. Further back to Sox Nation, Super Smink in the back half. Then came Casino 17, Mojo Rhythm, the stablemates back together, River Rubicon and Caramundi. 1,000 metres to go, Maricino takes a breather. Leads the way by 3/4 over Light Infantryman. Over on the rails, Bustlers running third. Let's Gallivant fourth, followed then by New Merion. After a length came Zip Away, Storyville. The filly bailed up near the inside next at the 700 ahead of Admiration Express. A length away then came Attrition, and Democracy Manifest is down near the inside back there with those Sox Nation. After one to Super Smink. She's trying to find runs between horses at the moment. Casino 17, Mojo Rhythm, then River Rubicon and Caramundi near enough to last. 400 metres out in the Northerly. Maricino's just in front, tackled by Light Infantryman, going up very quickly, looking for the way clear. Bustlers behind them from Let's Gallivant. Storyville cuts the corner. Down the outside, New Merion, Attrition, and then Admiration Express, Sox Nation. Light Infantryman storms to the lead at the 200. Light Infantryman races clear. Admiration Express is charging at the rate of knots. Light Infantryman's in front, and he'll cling on to win the Northerly. Light Infantryman beat Admiration Express. Third of photo, Sox Nation, Bustler. Mojo Rhythm was behind them, followed then by Zip Away, New Merion, Caramundi, River Rubicon, Super Smink, Never Got Warm, followed by Democracy Manifest, and then Maricino, Let's Gallivant. Further back, Attrition, Casino 17, and towards the tail, the 3-year-old filly, Storyville.
Light Infantryman, Kieran Maher, Ethan Brown take a bow. He was the beaten favourite in the Railway Stakes only 2 weeks ago. He didn't have a great deal of luck on that occasion, but Ethan Brown, Scott, from that outside alley, he took luck into his own hands. He rolled the dice, rolled forward, and from there he was awfully strong late.
Well, tactically brilliant to go forward today. I think third Lockie in that photo is going to go the way of Sox Nation, so she's now Group 1 placed as well to add to her Queensland Oaks. But all honours with the stable. Kieran Maher, what another wonderful feature for him. And for Ethan Brown, another Group 1 on his CV. But the story is the first 200 metres, sliding across to the breeze outside of Maricino and then bursting clear on straightening. Congratulations to them. What about the run of Admiration Express, Lockie?
Incredible at any old price, Scott. For her to run second at Group 1 level, I'm sure Connections would be absolutely ecstatic. And what a ride from Lucy Fiore it was, Scott. 3 deep with cover throughout. Admiration Express always had a beautiful toe into the race, and at the 100-metre mark she loomed, but in the end Light Infantryman was too strong, Scott.
She certainly was. I'm expecting here today, Lockie, that in the end, the talking point's going to be the tactics early, the ride of Lucy Fiore on Admiration Express. There's always going to be a fair few hard luck stories back there. It's a tight corner here at Ascot over the 1800, but as is so often the case, they were rolling along early behind Maricino, but Ethan Brown had to go when he did because Maricino wasn't going to take him into the home straight. He was left there a sitting duck to be run down. The horses in behind, Zip Away and Bustler, even Let's Gallivant, they peeled off his back to try to make a run, but he was simply too good for them. And market-wise, as we said in the preview, simply forgotten. He went around 360 in the Railway, double figures here today, and he was very luckless under James McDonald.
Exactly right. So the Eastern Raiders, they take out their third successive Group 1 feature here at Ascot throughout the Pinnacles, and I'm now catching up with winning representative from the Kieran Maher yard in Will Bourne. Will, what a feeling. Light Infantryman, he was the beaten favourite last week, but he certainly bounced back today.
Yeah, things actually went to plan. It was to go out, be positive. His asset is a high cruising speed, and that's what he showed today, and that's what he used. And look, the horse done a very good job today. Remy, who's looked after him for the last month, he's done an amazing job. I've never seen him so relaxed and so glowing in the coat. So, yeah, Remy's done an amazing job, and the team back home has prepared this horse. And Julian Welsh also has done a good amount of work with him in the barriers, so it showed today.
I suspect you yourself has played a big role in sourcing this horse over to Australia. How have you viewed his progression over the last 12 to 18 months under the eyes and the care of Kieran?
Yeah, well, he definitely needed to pull his socks up, but luckily got a great ownership group to support us. Aussie Kerr, John O'Neill, Colin and Janice McKenna obviously winning the horse at the time. Janice is still in him. Damien Degenard, Adrian Willoughby, and then the contingent who had him overseas, they kept half, and they've been very patient. Richard Brown runs a syndicate over there. We brought the horse off, who's David Simcox involved. So just to have them not complain, not say anything, and just go along for the ride, it's been amazing, and we thank them a lot.
Let's talk about Ethan Brown. I know him and Kieran have such a close relationship. He's been through a lot over the last 24 months with falls and other issues with his weight, but hasn't he just bounced back throughout this spring carnival?
It's gone enormous. I mean, I was a little bit concerned. I ran into him at the Crown Casino yesterday, and he goes, "We'll probably go back from that barrier and ride for luck." I thought, geez, you haven't spoke to the boss yet. So, look, he's done a great job. He's had a great record with Kieran, and well-deserved because he works hard. He comes in a lot of mornings. I expect to see him in jump outs on Monday.
In the run from barrier 15, what were you expecting? As you said, Ethan, yesterday when he was strolling through Crown, he thought he was going back, but were you always happy with where he was in running and how he was travelling throughout?
Well, he actually bounced and he built to get there. And then they sort of half put on the brakes, so he actually got a good breather, and then he had that kick on the corner. So everything just did go to plan, I must admit.
I know Kieran's in Hong Kong, but what do the celebrations look like tonight?
A few beers and then Hunter Valley tomorrow to look at Yearling, so I look forward to it. But yeah, definitely go for dinner tonight. So.
You're a busy man, but it makes it all worthwhile with Group 1 success. Congratulations, Will.
Thanks for having us here. Cheers.
There's Will Bourne after the win of Light Infantryman, and here's Ethan Brown catching up with Scotty.
Who wins the last Group 1 of the calendar year too. Ethan Brown joins us now. Ethan, talk us through the decision to take this ride first and foremost, because I'm sure you had plenty of option.
Yeah, I did. I had to give up a couple of nice ones at Ballarat. They offered me the ride. It was a tough decision to make. I spoke to James myself, and he was adamant that it probably should have won the other day, which it did look like that. Drawing out today really helped us. He was able just to lob in a beautiful spot. We were able to control the race, and that's what he wanted, just a flowing ride, and he showed his true colours.
You feel like that was the winning move, first 200 metres allowing him to stride forward?
Yeah, that was my plan. I think to win today's race, you had to get the first sort of 400 right, and after that it was easy, and we got the first 400 right, and that's how it worked out.
In an ideal world, the leader, Maricino, takes you halfway up the straight, but that was not to be the case.
Yeah, exactly. I was prepared for that, but I was, I knew I was on a fit horse, and he is a genuine horse. He's probably been very unlucky this prep.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
There's Ethan Brown combining with Kieran Marr for Group 1 success, and once again aboard Light Infantryman. And as you said, Scott, this market just completely forgot about this horse. He was the favourite in the Railway Stakes and a beaten favourite, but gee, he bounced back in a big way at a big price.
And if you were a follower of the replay run of his in the Railway Stakes, you've been extremely well rewarded, because as we all know over here in WA, we call it the Pike tax. In the rest of Australia, they call it the J-Mac tax. If James McDonald had been aboard this horse today, there's no way in the world he would have paid $12.40.
Exactly right. The beaten favourite was Super Smink. What did you make of her run, and also the beaten run of Storyville under the 50 kilos?
Let's start with Super Smink, Lockie. I've watched that head on there, and she looks like she just gets no luck at any stage in the home straight. Chris Parnham had what looked to be a fairly large lap full of horse ready to do something with, but unfortunately there was just no gaps appearing for her at any stage in the home straight. She looked like she missed away as well and got shuffled a few pairs further back than what they would have liked. Storyville, it was probably always going to be a bit all or nothing for the filly, and it is at the end of a long preparation. Melbourne Cup Day Burgess Queen, then to a champion fillies 10 days later, then 7 days into a WA Guineas and 14 days into a Northerly. It's a very short and compressed preparation for a filly like her, and unfortunately it looked like she just had enough.
There's Ethan Brown catching up with Will Bourne on our screens, I suspect, potentially on the phone to the boss in Kieran Marr. But it's just been great to see Light Infantryman salute in the Tab Touch Northerly Stakes, the last Group 1 of the calendar year, as our attention now heads to the last at Geraldton for the Tab Touch supports Geraldton Racing Handicap.